Coverage coming your way is presented by EA Sports and the PGA Tour. Frank, you've competed here on so many occasions. What's the magic of the old course?
Just the history, the fact that this golf course has evolved. We still really don't even know the original designer of the golf course. I think it's just sort of evolved through time. Originally it was 22 holes reduced to 18. The fact that when you look at the scorecard, you play 9 holes out, then you turn around in the loop and come back in. If you even time the tide right, you can play 18 holes with the wind behind your back. But the double greens, there's 7 double greens, and each double green adds up to 18. For example, if you're on the 3rd, it's adjacent to the 15th, the 4th, the 14th. It's a place that just continually grows on you, and then you realize you're playing inside like a museum of the game.
That's a nice way to open. Frank, this first hole, all about the swill and burn.
Yeah, it cuts in so close to the front of that putting surface. If there's just a puff of wind, then all of a sudden that burn that you could just step across very much comes into play. Should be safely on deck.
On the green, and a chance for birdie here on the first hole. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special. It's at sneaky distance.
Makes it right in the center. 13 feet away. -1 and really going. Here we are now at the second. Always so important to try and establish a good round in these opening holes, Frank.
In the second hole, especially with a prevailing breeze and today's modern equipment, the odd player has actually driven this green, but you really see the tone of the golf course. The middle of the golf course is protected. There's a series of bunkers down there, but the left is always the safe side of the golf course, but it's the best line to play your second shot from on the whole golf course is always the right side, and we see that here at the second. Got the measurement out there, Rich. Looks like 290 yards.
Ready for his second shot, trying to knock it on the green. So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. Let's see if he does it here.
This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I would say.
That is a beauty, a real beauty. Frank, you like his chances to walk away with a par here?
Well, with a good shot, Rich, yeah, that's certainly on the cards in that. And you think you just write a par down at the end of the hole, don't tell anyone about it. It certainly won't affect the scorecard at the end of the day. So that's the goal right here.
Getting set now over the putt. Just like that, now at 2 under. Just 5 feet left. One under early in the round. On the tee box here at the 3rd now. Frank, all these holes look relatively straightforward. Can a golfer get lured in a kind of a false sense of security off the tee here at the Old Course?
No, well, you can. This hole, the 3rd hole, even shorter than the 2nd, so reachable. But a lot of people tend to bail out towards the left. That's the middle of the golf course. And that leaves you a devilish little pitch or short wedge across that big gaping bunker that protects both the 3rd and the 15th green. So once again, want to drive the ball down the right side, but there's a series of pot bunkers there. Rich, I remember when I first played the Old Course, it was a Dunhill Cup. It was a team event. There was 3 players from each country around the world. And my teammates were Stuart Ginn and Bob Charles, who'd won the Open Championship. And I remember pestering Bob Charles all the way around the golf course, the Old Course. Where do I aim? Get away from a bunker. And at the time, I thought he was a bit of a curmudgeon, really. Because the only thing he told me was not to hit it inside the TV tower on 17. And then I realized he gave me the greatest golf lesson I ever had. Because he was telling me to play the golf course the way I felt I should. A lesson well learned. Play your own game.
Play with your instincts, especially at a place like the Old Course at St. Andrews, where you don't necessarily play by the book. I don't know that there is a book to get you around St. Andrews, except the best book of all, and that's the one of experience. Pure strike, good result.
And that is close.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag. This looks like it's going to find the target.
And getting ready for the putt. Good score going, now at 2 under par. These putts keep the round together. Has this to save par. A good effort, a good par putt. At the 4th hole now, and Frank, this one looks as though it might require a little bit of club selection off the tee. What are we looking at, partner?
Well, there is 2 ways to play the 4th off the tee. You can hit it down the right side, but it really starts to narrow up and it's slightly shorter. Most players go towards the middle of the golf course and try and get it on that plateau. But this, certainly the first hard hole you see at St. Andrews. This is definitely not going down the fairway.
It doesn't look good. I think it's going to be in the deep rough. Well, that is a really good tee shot right there, Frank.
I think that tipped the 300-yard mark.
Frank, there's a real art to putting a good 72-hole score in the book, isn't there?
Yeah, there is. You can have a flash of brilliance, make 5 or 6 birdies. It can be offset by doubles and quadruple bogeys. And in the end, it's the end. What did you do? The plus and the minuses. And that's why all our biggest championships have, and of recent, been stroke play.
And he's set up for his second shot here, looking to knock it on the green. That is always so disappointing from that kind of a spot when you come up short.
Yeah, you're licking your chops over that one. A shot you think you could hit directly at the flag. Now, test for the short game. Oh, this is straight at it.
It's a really good line. So a chance for birdie after another solid approach shot. Setting up for an approach shot here. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. He'd settle for par here. This is a 9-footer. Just singes the edge, Frank.
Yeah, but at least he's burning the edges. You know you're hitting good putts.
Holding steady now at 2 under par. So just a formality here. Now at 1 under for the round. Chance here at the par 5 fifth, Frank, to make a little move early in the round.
Yeah, it's certainly eagles galore. The fifth hole is one of the biggest greens on the golf course, shared with the 13th. So good tee shot, and you have a nice big target, even though it's a blind second shot coming up.
That one is in the fairway, down there about 290 yards. Now from a good position in the fairway, his second shot.
That's an absolute beauty.
Good lie in the fairway, a good chance to make something happen here. Frank, can you recall a situation where, before an important round, an instructor gave you one small tweak, maybe flare your left toe out, or just shift a little bit of the weight onto the back foot, where the instructor gave you that one small bit of advice and it made a huge difference?
Yeah, the list is too long, Rich, and it's normally just someone that you've trusted over the years, and we all make just little bad habits. Sometimes you're stooped over a little bit more than normal. You're not standing tall enough. The ball is too far back in your stance or too far forward. You're making a funny little move, or your grip is different. It's always the little things that add up to the big problem.
Crucial eagle attempt on the way. Chance to get it close here. Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
That had to really hurt, Frank, because it looked good all the way.
Well, this will test his mettle.
You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Came to the putt excited to make birdie. Now, settle for par.
Yeah, little change in the attitude right now. When you've let one go, you've got to really knuckle down there and make sure you don't drop a shot. It's important that this one goes in.
Clean this up with a tap. Has it going, 3 under for the round. Makeable putt right here, currently sitting at 1 under for the round. So with that, the score is now at even par. Now to the 374-yard par 4/6, another scoring opportunity.
Yeah, just be very careful of the wind conditions here, because that'll affect the strategy off the tee. Bunkers left and right to be avoided.
Frank, this one's not looking good.
Yeah, certainly not down the fairway line, heading toward the rough.
We moved that one out there, but he is not going to like the lie.
That moved down in the rough. Oh, that's got to be 300 yards, isn't it?
Second shot coming out of the rough here. Terrific golf shot. And now that for an easy birdie. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Birdie chance here. Very long putt, though.
Got to be a little careful if it gets away on him.
Well, you couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. How about that? 4 under par.
Even par currently.
Good work right there. He'll settle for par. Continuing from the oldest championship in the game. It's the Open Championship at the old course at St. Andrews. Here at the 7th hole now, Frank.
Yeah, you try and hit your tee shot over a little stone there. It's called the March stone. That's a good line for like left of center. And, well, if you can just work it off that, good tee shot. You're only going to have a pitch in here to a green that's set up very high.
Frank, did you hear the sound of that coming off the club face?
It was like a cannon.
Frank couldn't ask for anything more.
Just the lie there, too. It is sitting up like it's teed up. Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. Chance to set himself up for a good scoring opportunity with his second shot here. That is how it's done right there. What an approach shot. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Good swing, good shot yet again. Just misses. Good try, just didn't quite read the break, Frank.
It shouldn't be a problem, you'd think, cleaning up here for par.
Not a gimme, but well within his range. Starting to move in the right direction. 5 under after that made putt. This one just requires a little bit of focus. Still playing even for the day after the par. Now to the par 3-8. Frank, what's the best way to go at it?
Well, for these players, straight at the flag. This is the first par 3 you'll see, and a good chance to make 2 coming up ahead. But we do see a lot of long putts here with an errant tee shot.
Stuck the follow-through right there. This could be really good. That is an excellent play right there. The approach, giving him another good look.
This is not heading in the right direction.
Well, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. Frank made this hole just a little bit harder hitting it into the rough.
I would say a lot harder.
Second shot from the rough. It's on the way. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. These putts keep the round together. Still even par for the day. Rounding out the opening 9 here at St. Andrews. And Frank, this par 4 features a couple of fairway bunkers that players will have to contend with.
Yeah, this is a fun hole when you first stand on that tee and look at it. You see those bunkers smack bang in the middle of the fairway. The last bunker there in the middle is called the end hole. This hole is called the end. But this green, too, is so flat, very, very difficult to read. But if you get there, pull the head cover off the driver. Remember, this is the only chance you get to play the old course.
Paying attention like a little kid at school, Frank. That baby's sitting up.
Sitting up. It's got the best view as well. You don't even need binoculars from where that ball is.
Setting up for an approach shot here. Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. Chance to close out the front side here with a birdie. And he's set up for his second shot here, looking to knock it on the green. Settles in over the putt. Wow, that hurt.
It did. Shot gone forever.
Just a couple of feet. Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie. And what a day it's been. Just the tap in to finish the hole. Did the job right there. Now at the 10th, Bobby Jones loved this hole, didn't he?
And that's why it's been renamed Bobby Jones. Drivable for a lot of the players, but if you're going to have a crack at this green, avoid the gorse down the left side, as well as the two pot bunkers that are in line with the right side of this green.
Well, this one's sweet, Frank. Super. Frank, that ball's sitting up like it's on plush carpeting.
Rich, if you and I had lies like that every time, we'd still be playing this game for a living.
Settles in, looking to knock it in tight. You can't hide the flagstick from that man.
He is just unbelievable. That never deviated offline.
Now playing the second here at the par 4. Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. Good chance here. Good putt, and now 1 under par. And getting ready for the putt. Eight is not enough. That is 8 under par with that birdie. Now to the par 3 11th, and Frank, what's the key here?
Well, this green is slightly elevated. Huge false front, sort of left and right of that Strath bunker. And, of course, that bunker on the hill, or should I say that bunker on the left is called Hill. That's the famous bunker where Bobby Jones couldn't get out of it many years ago and actually ripped up his scorecard. So a good tee shot here, just find that right level where the flag is.
Well, I'm reminded of what an old caddy used to say about the great Lanny Watkins when he was on fire. You can't hide the flagstick from that man. That is always so disappointing from that kind of a spot when you come up short.
Yeah, you're licking your chops over that one. A shot you think you could hit directly at the flag. Now, test for the short game.
Shouldn't be a problem here. So close.
And yet it still counts for another shot.
Man,
I just pushed it.
boy, that hurts. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. They'll take it. That's a par. A makeable putt right here. He is currently sitting at 1 under par. So with that, the score is now at even par. Frank, how do you like the 12th hole here at St. Andrews?
Well, it's a beautiful par 4. You start to see the village of St. Andrews in the background, Eden Estuary to the right, and also decision time. If you're long enough, it's certainly worth having a crack at this par 4 with your tee shot. But if you're not a long hitter, then you've really got to worry about those 4 beautifully and well strategic positioned bunkers in the middle of the fairway.
That is tasty looking right there, Frank. Just a perfect spot in the fairway.
That is prime real estate. How do you get a lie like that? Seriously, you could hit any club from there.
Frank, looking at that shallow rear shelf here at the 12th, it looks as though it just sort of runs away on all sides.
It does. There's such a small piece in that top high portion. Chances of getting it on the right level, you have to be very, very precise.
He's making the game look very simple right now. See it, hit it, and he's got it right on track. Second shot, good look at the green. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. That was a good-looking putt, just not falling right now.
Sadly, he's going to be disappointed.
Now a 7-footer. Makes the putt and goes to 1 under. This one just requires a little bit of focus. That's a nice confidence builder right there. You make those for par and you keep things steady. Now to the par 4 13th, and again, Frank, it's all about avoiding the bunkers.
Yeah, another hole that forces you to go either right or left of something that you can see. The two bunkers called the coffins right up ahead. You can also go beyond those, and if you do, then you've got a much shorter shot in, but you've got to avoid those fairway bunkers. They are very costly.
You can play it from there, 300 yards away and in the fairway. He makes a great pass at the golf ball. It's powerful, but it's rhythmic at the same time. Second from an excellent lie. That should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. Superb shot once again, and only about 15 feet away for a birdie. Set for his next shot from a good position in the fairway. Frank, this is just a pleasure to watch. A player hitting on all cylinders at the top of his game.
Notice it's just flowing too. There's not a lot of deep analysis going through his mind. Just one step in front of the other. If your swing's there, you don't have to find it. If your putting stroke's there, you don't have to find it. Just let it happen.
Birdie chance here. Very long putt, though.
Got to be a little careful if it gets away on him.
Oh, what a putt from long distance, bottom of the barrel.
No snack, though.
This putt for par. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Frank, the 14th is a big par 5, chance to make a big move, but also possibility of making a big number if you're not careful.
Yeah, you've got to be very aware of the out of bounds on the right side, even though it does move to the right. Ideal tee shot is down the right side that gets very close to that, because then that opens up the second shot and keeps that tee shot away from that crop of bunkers called the birdies. There's a big cross bunker up ahead that has to be avoided for the second shot. If you're long enough, you can reach this par 5 and 2, but this green with so many undulations that it is anything other than flat.
Just a good solid tee shot right there, about 280 yards.
Tom Weiskopf was one of my idols growing up. I loved the way he swung. That swing right there reminds me of my idol.
It looks like Rory McIlroy, Frank, sticking the follow through. And from the fairway for his second shot here. That one is bunker bound, it looks like. Not his best shot, and now he'll have to deal with a bunker.
Yeah, they say the hardest shot in golf, the next one.
From a perfect position, ready to play his next shot. Well, this one is offline just a bit. Look out. That one is going to end up in the rough. Frank made this hole just a little bit harder hitting it into the rough.
I would say a lot harder.
Frank, this is the third shot from the fairway bunker.
Yeah, good lie. And once again, just making sure you have enough loft to carry the lip in front of you. And really then focus about the target in front.
What was he thinking there?
I have no earthly idea.
Has 135 yards to the flagstick, sitting down in the second cut here. Knocks it up on the green. It is about 28 feet away from the hole. 105 yards left. This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I would say.
Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. dropping a shot here late in the round, Frank, with that bogey at the 14th.
Now it's at sneaky distance.
Continues to putt beautifully. Just a couple of feet. That takes him to 1 under on the day. Frank, one of the things I always loved about links golf is that you're not aiming at a flagstick or a tree, but sometimes you're aiming for a steeple in the distance, and this is a good example here at the 15th.
Yeah, the church steeple is the exact line off the tee. That gives you sort of the center of the fairway. Really, you don't have to be overly bold off the tee. This is about just finding a nice flat lie for that second shot, because this is another difficult green that's well protected by just one little bunker that's in the front left that you don't think comes into play. But if your second shot doesn't land the right distance, more often than not, it just gets swallowed up by that.
Now playing the second here at the par 4. Up to the 15th green, but looking at a tough putt, considerably long, over 25 feet away. It's a 180-yard shot, his second.
There's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
Boy, this could be a tough one right here, Frank.
It's a very long putt, Rich. Obviously, it's difficult, but he still has a shot to sink this one for birdie.
That would have been a real bonus had it dropped, but as it is, good putt. Getting set now over the putt. Wow, I thought he made that. Frank, amazing how this hole has gotten away.
Yeah, he's not Robinson Crusoe. Happened to everybody that's played this game.
But now a chance for a birdie. Now -10 for the round. A makeable putt right here. He is currently sitting at 1 under par. So with that, the score is now at even par. Frank, the 16th hole, there was a time in my life when I was in 4th grade, I would have really enjoyed hitting the principal's nose. But that's not a good thing here?
Well, I'd like to think you graduated past 4th grade, but and if you did, then you'd be very aware of the principal's nose. You'd hit it left, it'd be a little longer into your second shot.
Frank, not the longest hitter, but sometimes you win tournaments by putting it in a good spot, and that's where we are right here, 280 yards out.
Yeah, 280 down the middle of the fairway. That'll never get you in trouble.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Not terrible, but not his best.
Yeah, outside chance really for birdie, but really it was a rather poor approach shot.
This is a long putt. Really, the key is the speed. If it drops, that's a bonus. Looks like he just misread that. Not quite enough on that one, couple of feet short.
Yeah, hopefully he taps it in. Not his best, but hopefully it's just two putts.
Locked in on the read and the speed. Putt drops, now at 1 over par. Has this putt for birdie. Continues to amaze, yet another birdie, and what a day it's been. Frank, this is sort of bizarre. You're standing on the tee at the road hole, one of the most famous par 4s in the sport, and you're aiming for a hotel?
Well, you're aiming over a series of letters that say the Old Course Hotel. If you can hit it exactly over that U, then you will be in the right place, which hopefully is down the middle of the fairway. You avoid that heather on the left. That bunker up ahead, the road hole bunker, you remember David Duval? He got stuck in there. Years ago, Tommy Nakajima, he could hardly ever get that ball out, and in the end succumbed, I think, to double figures. So the hole has more than one way to trap you, so stay away from the road on the road hole. This is definitely not going down the fairway.
That doesn't look good. I think it's going to be in the deep rough. Needs to get all of this from 190 yards.
This looks like it's going to find the target.
That's well played. Now a good look at birdie. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
So a long putt there and just didn't read it quite right. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business.
Now, as they say, 300-yard drive, one shot. Miss a short one, also one shot.
Yeah, that's painful. That was a good-looking putt, just not falling right now.
Sadly, he's going to be disappointed.
Just 5 feet left. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. This to avoid a huge number. This is for bogey. Two over for the day. Frank, is there a more famous landmark in the sport than the tiny Swoken Bridge?
I think when you think of this game, the way in which we've followed it and covered it, Rich, over the last decade plus, no. It is just symbolic, not just with this golf course, but the game of golf itself, because every great champion has managed to make his foray across to Scotland and play the old course and walk across that bridge. After that good tee shot, Rich, it's time to take full advantage of it.
And this is one where he can really go after the whole location and maybe think about making birdie. And he's set up for his second shot here, looking to knock it on the green. Frank, obviously way too much club there.
You've got to think something like that, or at least misread the wind. This is never going to sit down.
That'll be from about 90 yards away. Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. This one just requires a little bit of focus. Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
Not a gimme, but well within his range.
Oh, it just shaves the edge.
So finishes the day with a 74. Needs this for par. Got it for par. Frank, solid effort today. What's your assessment?
Golf like that can certainly result in wins, that's for sure. But more importantly, the opportunity to get one.